Hi everyone, Angela here. Do you have baseball caps lying around that you don't wear and the brim is in good condition? I'll show you how to quickly and easily give them a new life. First, remove the brim that's between the cap and sweatband. You can use a seam ripper or small scissors to carefully remove the stitches. I prefer to use single-edge razor blades when unpicking. Just pull the layers apart and carefully tap on the stitches with the blade. You can see and feel the top edge of the stiff insert here. We'll only be stitching through the 2 layers of fabric just above that top edge. Remove all the loose threads and trim away any around the raw edges. For this tutorial, I'll be using this black brim. Turn it over to the underside, gently bring the sides together, find the center, and mark it. You can also just measure across to find the center. This cotton bandana I'm using measures about 22 inches square. Rotate the square diagonally and fold in half with right sides together. This now measures about 15 inches from the point to the fold, which is a bit too short. Just pull down the top layer a bit until it measures about 18 inches. I'm also going to make one using this wider scarf that measures 26 inches square. The method will be exactly the same, but I'm just going to fold it a little bit longer so that it measures 22 inches. Use an iron or your fingers to press across the fold to create a crease line. I'll just lightly chalk across the fold so you can see. Find the center of that crease line by folding it in half and mark it. This is folded along the bias of the fabric so it has some natural stretch. The lighter the fabric, the more stretch it'll have. Have the underside of the brim facing you and turn it around so that the curve is on the bottom. We'll be matching the centers together. Open up the bandana and place the center of the curve along the center of the fold. Fold up the bandana to sandwich the brim, making sure that the crease sits right against the curved edge of the brim. This is a little tricky because of the curve, so you'll just have to gently push the fabric down and adjust it. Clip or pin in place. Pin just through the fabric above the hard edge. Continue stretching along the fold and placing it right against the edge of the brim. The fabric will naturally want to curl up, so you'll need to keep smoothing it out. Clip in place, making sure the fabric is smooth on both sides without any pleating. This is the end of the hard edge and the side of the brim. The stitching won't stop here, but will continue right across and up to the fold. Again, I'll just draw a line so you can see. Repeat for the other side. If you're finding this video helpful, make sure to like, share, subscribe, turn on all notifications, and leave a comment below. As always, I'd love to know where in the world you're watching from. You can also show your support by becoming a member. The fabric should be draped like a cowl neck and a little bit flatter on the other side. For the hand sewing, I'm using a needle that's about 1.5 inches long. You can use all-purpose thread and cut a piece about twice the length of your arms. Thread the needle, bring the ends together, and tie together in a knot. If you have trouble making a knot, hold the ends between your thumb and index finger. Place the needle down across the end. Wrap the end of the thread tightly around the top of the needle 3 or 4 times. Hold the wrapped threads in place with your thumbnail and pull the needle and thread through. Give it a tug at the end to form a tight knot. This is called a tailor's knot. To stitch the brim on, start from one side. Stitch in place a couple of times at the fold to secure the thread end. Sew a running stitch along the line towards the brim, keeping your stitches as short as possible, about 1/8 of an inch. At the side of the brim, stitch through all 4 layers right on top of the hard edge of the insert. Feel for the top of the edge with the point of the needle. Stitch around the side 3 times so it's nice and secure. Continue carefully stitching in and out from one side to the other along that hard edge. Push the needle straight through and pull tight with each stitch, keeping them short and even. You really have to check with every stitch that the fabric is smooth and that the needle isn't catching any extra fabric. It's really not that bad. This took me about 15 minutes to stitch across. It doesn't have to be perfect, just keep your stitches short. You might be wondering, why not stitch across with a sewing machine? Well, unless you have a cylinder arm sewing machine, I promise you it's really difficult to keep the fabric right against the edge and all that extra fabric out of the way. I tested it out a few times and I spent way too much time unpicking the stitches. At the other side of the brim, stitch around 3 times again and then across and up to the fold. Make sure to have a look at some of my other hat tutorials. I'll leave a link for them down in the description. To finish, insert the needle right beside the thread to create a loop. Pass the needle through the loop and pull tight to form a knot. Do this once more and then insert the needle right beside the knot, pass it through the seam, and bring it out through the fold to bury the thread ends. Double check that you haven't caught any extra fabric on both sides. Open up the bandana to the right side and you can see the hand sewing produces a nice clean seam all around. To wear it, place it over your head, gather the sides and tie it over the center back. Fold up the back corner, tie again, and tuck in any fabric you want. You can also roll up the bandana and wear it like a headband. With the wider scarf, you can wear it around your face and tie it under your chin. Tie it around the back for a nice longer look, and you can even tie it around a ponytail. I hope you enjoy upcycling your baseball caps. Thanks again for watching. Take care and happy sewing.